Hello, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your first time coming across it. I did a little pre-match kind of summary of the Arsenal-Lyon game, and I just thought I would follow it up with a post-match reaction of the game. I know in my previous video I had said that I expected us to beat them fairly well. That was my hope at the time, and I guess I went off of previous results. I know we trashed them away, but we did struggle last time at home in the Emirates. And also in my last video, I did say that the game was going to be on in Boreham Wood, which when I checked at the time, that's what Google told me. But yeah, no, I was delighted to see that the game was actually played in the Emirates, as deserved, especially for, Champions League semi-final. Why wouldn't it be? It was great to see the amount of people that turned out. Atmosphere looked really, really good. Yeah, just I'm really happy with the win. I think we did really, really well to come down from 1-0 at halftime. We really struggled in the first half. Lyon were absolutely all over us. They kind of played like, well, they do tend to play a high risk and reward kind of game, and yeah, it definitely paid off for them in the first half. I thought that they were all over us. They were pressing us like crazy. We just had no time on the ball at all. Our midfield just couldn't get to grips with the game. Anytime we tried to pass it up through midfield and through to the wingers, it just kept breaking down. Lyon seemed to just absolutely swarm us and get the second ball every time. So I thought they played really well in the first half. The Brandt player, the winger for them, I thought she was really good. She was causing us serious problems. Her goal was, I don't know what happened in our defence. It was like we just had a huge gap between the two centre backs and nobody could get to her. That was, yeah, a disappointing goal to let in. I wasn't expecting that, but look, that's Lyon. They were high energy, high press, and we really struggled with that. So in fairness to Renee, fair play to her, like at halftime she had to make some changes. There was no way that Lyon could have come out with that level of intensity and energy in the second half. So, that was something that was definitely going to change anyways. But look, fair play to Renee and the girls. They came out second half. We played a lot better. We controlled the ball. We had more time and possession on the ball, I thought. Lyon kind of stood back a bit, which, was our advantage, I suppose, and we could finally get the ball through to the likes of Russo and the wingers. Yeah, so look, second half, we came out really well. We were attacking. We looked far more of a threat. I don't think we had any attempts on target in the first half, which is crazy. We might have had one attempt. I thought our set pieces were really poor as well. I know Mariona was doing a few, when she did her corners, they just weren't beating the first man. She was drilling them low. I don't know why. She did that 2 or 3 times and it just failed. When we got a set piece, like a free kick, I can't remember if it was her. I think it was her. She tried to deliver them to the back post to Lotte Wubben-Moy, and they just were too high. She just couldn't reach them. So look, our set pieces were not great in the first half. As I said, we were a lot better in the second half. I think one of the standout players for me definitely was Leah Williamson in the defence. I know she got taken off in the second half, and that was expected because she's come back from injury. So we need to really take care of her and watch her minutes. But I thought she was brilliant. We've really missed her in the last, over the last, I don't know how many months she's been out, but we've really missed her kind of line breaking passes. She has such a good eye for a pass. She'll pass it straight from the defence straight through. Just line breaking passes really that nobody else really does. We tended to play more kind of U-shaped football when we didn't have her, because I felt like teams were just crowding out our attackers, so we had to play through the wings. But she was really good. I thought she was excellent. Yeah, look, our first goal in the second half was an own goal. The goalkeeper made an absolute howler of a mistake. I don't know what she was doing. Caldente with the set piece, clipped it in, and Stina kind of made a little bit of a run. And I think that was enough to put off the goalkeeper, sorry. But even then, she just totally fumbled the ball, and yeah, it was an unusual mistake for her. She's a very experienced goalkeeper, so I didn't expect that from her. But look, pressure does this, and it does this to the best of players. So that's what happened, unfortunately. I did think our set pieces were a lot better in the second half, thankfully. What I noticed was we kept Russo in the 10, which I expected Renee to change that sooner. She brought on Frida Monum in the second half, but I thought that was a little bit too late. I think we really missed Russo in the 9 in this game. I thought Stina did really well. And as I said, she played a part in that first goal to level the game, but I just think that she should have maybe moved Russo into the 9 sooner, took off Stina and brought Frida into the 10 to kind of link up play. I think we needed more energy there. And Russo she's such a good player, but I think her best attacks are when she's in the number 9. We've seen her goal record. She's brilliant, and she's lethal around the penalty box. And she just causes absolute havoc. So I was kind of expecting that change to happen sooner. But anyways, that was all good. It was looking a bit nervy, to be honest, there towards the end of the game as well at 1-1. Look, we didn't have many subs to bring on at all. We had Frida Monum, that was it. Attacking wise, really, we brought on Palova in centre midfield to kind of shore things up and have 3 free midfielders at the time playing, because she kept on Kim Little and Caldente. Chloe Kelly was absent. She was a big loss. Hopefully she'll be better soon. Beth Mead is out for personal reasons. So they're 2 really experienced players for us that play a lot of Champions League football and, play for their countries. We really missed them off the bench and didn't really have much in attack. But look, considering that, I thought that we held on, at 1-1. It really could have gone either way. I thought Lyon definitely faded for the first 20-30 minutes of the second half. But I think towards the end, they kind of started digging in a little bit, and kind of we looked like we were under pressure a wee bit. But look, Olivia Smith, fair play to her on the 82nd minute. She pressed the keeper. I don't know how she managed it, but the keeper managed to whack into their centre back. I think it's Engin, and yeah, just put her absolutely flying. She cleared through her, managed to press the keeper, and yeah, 2 of them fell over, and she just managed to hit it in. But absolutely brilliant. She's so tenacious, Olivia Smith. She did so well. That was absolutely crucial. I don't think anyone was expecting that either. I think, if we were going to get a goal, it was probably, earlier on. I didn't expect us to get kind of not a last minute goal, but, a last 10-minute goal, we'll say, of the game. But yeah, fair play to her. Sometimes you just make your own luck. And it's great now that we get to go to Lyon with that 2-1 lead. As I said, I'm expecting us to win against Lyon and, to carry on that lead. We tend to play really well away from home against Lyon, so I'm hoping for a few more goals. Who knows? They have the home advantage, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, fingers crossed. I'll be there for the away leg. We play Leicester next Wednesday, so that's sandwiched in between in the Premier League. But look, the Premier League is a bit, we're falling behind now, so it's kind of, obviously we want to do as well as we can, but Champions League will be priority. So yeah, look, I'm hoping for a win against Leicester. I don't think that's too much to ask for again. fingers crossed we'll have more players back. I've got no news about Steph Catley. I don't know when she's going to be back. And also, yeah, Beth Mead, I'm not sure. And yeah, the same for Chloe Kelly. Fingers crossed, you know, we'll have them for Lyon at least. I think we should be beating Leicester without them regardless. I'm sure Renee will make changes definitely against Leicester, but yeah, look, great win. Great win. I think we did really well considering. I know I was very optimistic in my last video, but look, yeah, I think the team is really good. I don't see why we can't go past the semi-final and reach the final to play either Bayern Munich or Barcelona, you know. So yeah, I'm expecting us to beat Lyon away, and I'm expecting us to reach the final. I saw as well that Bayern Munich and Barcelona was a 1-1 draw. So look, it's all to play for. Let's see how that goes. I don't really have a preference for who I'd like us to play. I don't want to jump ahead of myself. I know we're 2-1 up. But yeah, I know, you know, each day as it comes, I will do probably a pre-match video for Leicester, and I'll do a post-match again. And I'll see you there for that. And yeah, I will, fingers crossed, for Lyon. Chat to you soon. Yeah, if you're enjoying the videos, give it a like, and thank you so much for following along. Cheers.